Hey there and welcome back for another Secondhand Opinions video. I'm Jason Alderman, the internet's favorite fat mouth, fat ass, bringing you fat stacks, fuck facts. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on over in Philadelphia. Philly's kind of going itself on an uproar again. I thought all the crazy fair weather rioters had stopped after the forest fires and then the weather got cold. I thought we had seen the end of the rioting. But no, some other idiot decides to pull out a knife and commit suicide by officer, and because of that, the rest of his neighborhood decides to act like total fucking retards and go destroy the shit all over the town. Let's go over here to Fox News and take a look at the article. Thought we were done treating these criminals like martyrs. Well, since I was halfway through this news article and didn't pull up the screen, you just saw my face and not the article. Let's go ahead and wet our whistle and start this whole process over again. Morning. Happy Tuesday. Alright. Philadelphia police shooting of armed black man sparks violent clashes, at least 30 cops injured. Police said 27-year-old Walter Wallace appeared to disregard orders to drop a knife. The fatal police shooting of a black man allegedly armed with a knife in the western side of Philadelphia sparked violent protests overnight, with at least 30 officers reported injured early Tuesday, including one sergeant who was struck by a pickup truck, officials said. Hundreds of people took to the streets to protest the Monday afternoon shooting of 27-year-old Walter Wallace Jr., calling it another example of police officers killing a black man. Demonstrators marched to a city police station while officers lined up behind metal barricades. Well, yeah, guys, it is another example of police officers killing a black man, but that black man had decided to go out and commit suicide by cop, so what do you expect? Doesn't matter what your skin color is, when the cops tell you to drop the knife and you don't, you end up getting shot. At least 35 people, including 5 juveniles, were arrested over the course of the night, a Philadelphia Police Department spokesperson said in an email to Fox News. Their charges have not been announced yet. 5 firearms were recovered from those arrests, police said. The demonstrations quickly turned violent as some protesters were seen throwing objects at officers while at least one police vehicle was set on fire. Cops' cars and dumpsters were set on fire as police struggled to contain the crowds. More than a dozen officers, many with batons in hand, formed a line as they ran down 52nd Street chasing protesters away from the main thoroughfare. The crowd largely dispersed then. Lauren Dawn Johnson, a reporter for Fox 29, took to Twitter to update her followers on the condition of the officers who suffered injuries. Lauren Dawn Johnson, a reporter for Fox 29, took to Twitter to update her followers on the condition of the officers who suffered injuries. 30 officers were injured, most of them from being struck by projectiles such as bricks and rocks, according to preliminary information from police. A 56-year-old sergeant was hospitalized in stable condition with a broken leg and other injuries after she was struck by a pickup truck, while the other injured officers were treated and released, police said. Samantha Melamed, a reporter for the Philadelphia Inquirer, posted an image of a man holding a toddler while facing a police officer. She tweeted that the man told his 3-year-old son, "This is what racism looks like, take a look." The shooting occurred before 4 p.m. as officers responded to a report of a person with a weapon, police spokesperson Tanya Little said. Officers were called to the Cobbs Creek neighborhood and encountered the man, later identified as Walter Wallace, who was holding a knife, she said. Officers ordered Wallace to drop the knife, but he instead advanced toward them. Both officers then fired several times, Little said. A graphic video emerged that purportedly showed the moments leading up to the shooting. It showed officers pointing their guns at Wallace as he walks in the street and around a car. He walks towards the officers as they back away from him in the street. Guns still aimed at him. They yell at him to put his knife down. The 2 officers then fired several shots and Wallace collapses in the street. A woman runs up to him screaming while several bystanders then approach him. It's unclear in the video if he had a knife. Witnesses said he was holding one. Wallace was hit in the shoulder and chest. One of the officers then put him in a police vehicle and drove him to a hospital, where he was pronounced dead a short time later, Little said. No officers or bystanders were injured in the shooting, Little said. The names of the officers who fired the shots were not immediately disclosed. Both were wearing body cameras and were taken off street duty pending the investigation. The police department and city's district attorney have vowed to look into the shooting. Eyewitness Maurice Holloway told NBC he and other neighbors had tried to get Wallace to put down the knife before police arrived. That's when it matters. He's in our community. We're not threatened by him because we know him, Holloway said during a segment that aired Tuesday morning. His mother tried to grab him to console him. Police said it was unclear how many times the person was shot, but Walter Wallace Sr., the man's father, told the paper that he believed his son was shot 10 times. He told the paper that his 27-year-old son had mental health issues and was on medication. Why didn't they use a taser? His mother was trying to defuse the situation, he said, according to the paper. Well, there it is, ladies and gents. Another individual in our society, I'm sure, who has a troubled past with troubled history with police and other issues, law enforcement issues, legal issues in their past. I suspect drug use. Who knows? We'll find out, I'm sure. Decides to commit suicide by cop, and the neighbors decide to destroy their town and the claims of racism. Haven't we seen this dog and pony show before? You're just going to kill more black people and cry foul about it, and kill more black people and cry foul about it. The cops didn't show up there with the intent to commit murder. The cops were brought there because people said some yo-yo had a knife. I don't know what to tell you guys. Quit idolizing scumbags. I've said it 100,000 times. So I'll pretend like our opinions matter. Leave them in the comments below. And remember, this is social media to do all the things.